Olá, pessoal! Sejam todos muito bem-vindos a Inglês Fluente 7107. Aqui é a professora Vilma e nós estamos aqui para mais uma aula rumo à sua fluência no inglês. Vamos lá? Let's go! Ok. Let me share here my screen. Very good. Okay. Today we're gonna learn how to make questions in English correctly. Ok? É isso mesmo. Vamos acertar na ordem das perguntas no inglês. Let's go. To make questions in English with do, does, and did, right? We need to follow this order, right? WH, A, S, V, C. What does that stand for? Have a look here. WH for information questions. So if you are making an information question, then you are going to start with one of the WH. Yeah? What, when, how, where, why. Okay? And then you're going to use the auxiliary. A for auxiliary. After the auxiliary, the subject. S for subject. O sujeito, okay? V for the verb. Remembering that this verb is always in the infinitive. And C for complement, if there is a complement, okay? So this order is very important. So for simple present and simple past, okay? Let's see if this order really works. Será que essa ordem realmente funciona? Let's go, let's see. Look what I put here. WH, A, S, V, C, right? So, if your question is not an information question, it is a yes or no question, then it's going to start with the auxiliary. So remember this. All questions starting with an auxiliary is a yes or no question. Okay, guys? Every question is starting with an auxiliary is a yes or no question. And why it's important for us to differentiate a yes or no from an information question. It is because the intonation is completely different. Okay? I'm going to show you here. So, let's check the order first. A for auxiliaries. So, do, does, did, do, does. Okay. S for subject. You, may, Max, they, Paul. Right? It can be a personal pronoun, right? The subject pronoun, or a person, right? Or anything that is in the function of the subject, okay? Then I have the verb. Remembering, this is the main verb. This is the position of the main verb in the sentence. And this verb should always be in the infinitive, right? And then if there is a complement, it's going to come after the verb, right? But for questions starting with WH, information questions, then you put the information question, the question word at the beginning, and then you follow the same order. So let's see here. Do you live with your parents? Do you live with your parents? Remembering that yes or no questions have a rising intonation at the end, ok? Então, ao final, você vai subir o tom da sua voz. A intonation né? A entonação, ela sobe. Do you live with your parents? Do you live with your parents? Let's repeat. Do you live with your parents? Okay? In the same way, yeah, I have 3 yes or no questions. Does May eat Chinese food? Does May eat Chinese food? Did Max find her? Did Max find her? So let me just put it here, the intonation, right? Do you live with your parents? Yeah? Does May eat Chinese food? Okay. Did Max find her? Yeah? So again, repeat after me, okay? Do you live with your parents? Do you live with your parents? Does May eat Chinese food? Does May eat Chinese food? Did Max find her? Did Max find her? Did Max find her? Okay, so the intonation at the end rises. Okay, now I have information question. Why information question? Because you mandatorily need to give a piece of information. Exatamente. Obrigatoriamente. Mandatorily. Obrigatoriamente. You need to give a piece of information. Look at here. Do you live with your parents? Yes, I do. Does Max eat Chinese food? No, he doesn't. Did Max find her? Yes, he did. So you simply say yes or no, remembering that yes or no in English are never simply yes, no, 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 no. Yeah? Do you live with your parents? Yes, I do. This is the correct way of answering a yes or no question. Does May eat Chinese food? No, he doesn't. No, she doesn't. Right? Did Max find her? No, didn't. Okay? Now, information question. Where do they work? Look at the intonation. Where do they work? Where do they work? Repeat. Where do they work? Now, what color? Look, this information question, yeah, is a compound information question. It's composta. Yeah? Why? It's compounded of 2 words. It's not where, what, why. It's what color, how often, which days. Okay? Compound information question. So what color does Paul like? What color does Paul like? What color does Paul like? Okay? It goes down. Let me just make a little correction here. Do this. Right? So you see, the intonation is completely different. If you have never paid attention to it, I want from now on, from this point on, I want you to start paying attention to the difference in the intonation of yes or no and information question, okay? Right. So this is the correct order to follow. Tá? Então, esta é a ordem correta para ser seguida. E a partir desse momento, né, eu gostaria que vocês prestassem atenção nessas diferenças na entonação. Né? Se essa é a primeira vez que você está estudando isso, você está aprendendo isso, essa diferença que numa information question, ao final a entonação cai. Yes or no questions, ao final a entonação sobe. Okay, guys? Very good. Let's move on. Now you're going to see how to make question with the verb to be. The verb to be is very different. You needed to pay attention, okay? Because you're going to use the verb to be as a main verb in the sentence. Are you Vilma? Are you Vilma? So there is only one verb in the sentence. So it's the main verb. However, most times the verb to be is an auxiliary verb. And then I will have a second verb, which is the main verb. Main verb. Verbo principal. Okay? So, here, the order, WH, verb to be, subject, main verb, and C for complement. Now, pay attention. Now, with the verb to be, if you use only the verb to be, it's a yes or no question, right? Because you're starting with the verb. Remember, if you start your question with a verb, it is a yes or no question. So, is Anna a student? Is Anna a student? Right? In here, the verb to be is the main verb in the sentence. It is the main verb. It is the only verb. Is Anna a student? Are you well? Are you well? Is he Paul? Is he Paul? Okay? So it's the main verb. Now have a look here. Another yes or no with the verb to be in the simple past, right? So was is the past of is and am, right? I am, he, she, it is. Then in the past, I was, he, she, it was. Okay? Very good. But then, if the verb to be is being used as an auxiliary, like here, then the main verb, it's not in the infinitive. You see, the main verb, yeah, it's in the gerund. Yeah, why? Because now we're talking about a continuous tense. A continuous tense. Could be present continuous, right? Or past continuous. So in that case, is past, right? Okay. So in here is past continuous. So verb to be in the past, the subject and the verb in the gerund with ing. Fast food is the complement. So was Mark eating fast food? Was Mark eating fast food? Yes or no question? Right? Is that a student? Was Mark eating Chinese food? Oh no, fast food. Was Mark eating fast food? Was he? Was he? Is that a student? Is she? Is she? Okay? Now, look at here. I only have now information questions. Okay? Information questions. Verb to be, subject, verb in the gerund, and the complement. So let's have a look here. So where are they going so quickly? Where are they going so quickly? Repeat. Where are they going so quickly? Where are they going so quickly? Right? Look, what were you talking about? What are you talking about? Repeat. What were you talking about? Okay? What were you talking about? Pay attention to the intonation. Why are you so pretty? So look, I don't have a verb here. Why? Because the verb to be is the main verb in the sentence. if the verb to be is the main verb in the sentence. It is the only verb. Quando o verbo to be for o único na sentença, certo? Ele é o verbo principal. E se ele for o verbo principal, ele se mexe na frase. Vai fazer pergunta com ele, o verbo to be vai lá para frente, certo? Why are you so pretty? Why are you so pretty? Oh, why are you so pretty? Repeat. Why are you so pretty? Oh, pretty, American, pretty, British. Lembrando, olha aqui, ó. It ends with Y, right? Remember that I told you there are no vowel sounds at the end in English, né? Que no inglês as palavras não terminam com sons de vogal, certo? Mas sempre tem exceção. Se tiver um Y, ó, quickly, quickly, pretty, pretty, aí sim você vai ter aquele som de I que nós conhecemos, ok? Olha aqui. What is she thinking of? What is she thinking of? What is she thinking of? Yeah? Repeat. What is she thinking of? What is she thinking of? Outra coisa very important, yeah? Another thing that is very important here, it is that I put the prepositions at the end when you make questions in English. Yeah? Because if the verb is followed by a preposition, talk about, think of, think about, ok? Então essa preposição vai lá para o final. Differently from Portuguese. Diferentemente do português, a preposição vai no final em inglês. Ó, what were they talking about? Né? What is she thinking of? Okay? So this is very important. And this is just an introduction to our grammar class today. Now we are going to the book, okay? Page 7, right? Page 7, grammar, exercise 2, okay? So get your books, right? Open it on page 7, exercise 2, okay? Exercise 2, grammar. Okay, word ordering questions. So look at the highlighted phrases in these questions here, 1 to 6, okay? You're going to tick the correct questions, okay? So now you know which ones are correct, yeah? Because we just seen the correct order for questions. So rewrite the incorrect ones. Okay? So look at number 1. Yeah? The number 1 is ticked. Yeah? Can you play a musical instrument? Right? Can you? Look, starting here with a auxiliary verb, because a modal verb is similar to the verb to be. Yeah? You put at the beginning to make questions, right? And in affirmative, it has to be accompanied of a main verb, right? So can to talk about capability. So can you play a musical instrument? So that is correct. Okay, that's correct. So you need to tick the 3 correct questions. Number 1 is done, yeah? And you are going to rewrite the incorrect ones, okay? I'm going to give you some time, okay, for you to do it, yeah? Let's go. And then, guys, could you finish? Remember, if you need more time, stop the video, ok? Sempre que vocês precisarem de mais tempo, tá bom? Por favor, parem o vídeo, ok? So let's check here together. Let's see. So you need to tick the correct ones, right? So number 1, that was okay, right? Number 3, were you at this school last year? Good, right? So last year, so simple past, and I am using the verb to be in the past, right? Were you? Were is the past of are, okay? Are you? Were you? Okay? Just be careful with the pronunciation. Were, okay? Don't confuse with the interrogative pronoun where, onde. Where is open, were is closed, okay? Very good. Verb to be, the verb to be moves in the sentence, right? To make a question, goes to the beginning. And in this case, the verb to be is the main verb, yeah? Were you at the school last year? Yeah, last year. Number 3, is there a supermarket near here? Again, this is the verb to be. In fact, the verb here is there be. There be. There is, there are, okay? And for questions, is there? So, is there a supermarket near here? Very, very important here in number 4. You can't use the verb have, okay? Have a supermarket near here. This is Portuguese, okay? Have in English is to talk about possession. You have a problem, you have a dog, you have a wife, you have a job, okay? In here, you need to use the verb there be. So, is there a supermarket near here? Another thing, the verb there be has 2 forms. There is and there are, okay? Because in Português is impersonal, ok? O verbo haver é impersonal, né? Impessoal, impessoal. Então, você só tem uma forma. Há um homem ali, há alguns homens ali. É também um erro no português, inclusive, certo? Então, you need to use the verb there be. And could you correct the wrong ones? Yeah, let's check. Let's see here, look. The problem, what's the problem here? So we learned that you make questions, right? With the simple present and simple past, not the verb to be, not with a modal verb, right? You needed to use an auxiliary verb. So look at here. What is the auxiliary verb? Yeah? So you only use the as here. You're only going to use the as here in affirmative sentences in the present. Okay? If I could check here. So the as is wrong. You can't use this as here. Right? Okay. Let's have a look at number 5. Have you cereal for breakfast? Okay, that's another common error. The verb have, yeah, it's a main verb, yeah, é verbo principal. To be used as an auxiliary, that is possible, is only for present perfect. But in here, number 5, this is simple present. So for simple present, I need to use the auxiliary of simple present. And what is the auxiliary of simple present? And number 5, Where went you? Come on. So now it's simple past, right? Look. Last holiday. Simple past. Yeah? Usually, when the sentence is in the simple past, you have, okay, something indicating that is simple past. Look at here. Last year. Yeah? Last year. Last holiday. Simple past. But here, you can't use in a question. Yeah, you can't put the verb here. You can't conjugate the verb here. You need to keep the verb, remember, in the infinitive, right? So when you use auxiliaries for questions and for negatives, the verb has to be always in the infinitive. Very good. So, no. This is wrong, right? This is wrong. Which ones are correct? Yeah? Which ones are correct? Let's see the correct form. Yeah? I helped you a lot. Huh? So, for present, you need the auxiliary of present. So, your father, yeah? He. Yeah? Se eu fosse fazer uma reposição, seu pai, o pronome pessoal seria he. Remember, he, she, it. Auxiliary does. So, where does your father work? Okay? And here, right, I need to use the auxiliary do, yeah, because the verb here, have, is the main verb. It's not the verb, the auxiliary verb. Okay? Auxiliary verb, have or has, only for present perfect. Right? But we will study this later on. And here, yeah, I can't put the verb go in the past because it's a question. I need to use auxiliaries with the verb in the infinitive. So where did you go for your last holiday? Okay, guys? Yeah? Let's move on. Don't worry, because we're going to see this in more detail now. More detail. Okay, let me close this down here. Yeah. Now we're gonna go to page 126. Okay, have a look at here. Page 126. Right? Go there to the back of your book. I'm gonna press here. 126. Here I am. Yeah. Page 126. So at the back of the book, remember this, at the back of your book, you have some sections. One of them is the section for grammar, the grammar bank. Okay? So now we're going to see this in more detail. Yeah? So look at here. Word ordering questions. Questions with be and can. Can is a modal verb to talk about capability. Yeah. Yes, I can. Yeah. I can sing, I can dance, I can play volleyball. Okay. Your capabilities. Things you know how to do. So in here, they follow the same principle, right? It moves to the beginning of the sentences, the verb to be and the modal can, right? All modals will follow the same principle. It goes to the beginning of the sentence for you to make your question. So here, are you hungry? Is there a bank near here? Can I sit here? So again, if this question is started with an auxiliary verb, then it is what? A yes or no question. Yes. Very good. And if it starts with a WH, then it is an information question. And you remember that is what I told you about the pronunciation. Yeah, the intonation is different, right? Yes or no, rising intonation at the end. Information question, it goes up and then falling intonation at the end. Have a look at this. Pay attention. I'm going to play, okay? I want you to listen and repeat. And I want you to copy the intonation, okay? Repeat exactly the same intonation. And pay attention, yeah, to the rising intonation here in yes or no, and falling intonation in the last two. Okay, so listen and repeat. Let's go.
1.4. Are you hungry?
Is there a bank near here?
Can I sit here?
What was that noise?
Where were you born?
Okay, could you notice the difference? Yeah, if you haven't, don't worry, because we're going to do this exercise many times, okay, throughout the course. So here, look, we make questions with the verb be and can by inverting the verb and the subject, right? Subject, sujeito. She's a teacher. Is she a teacher? He can drive. Can he drive? Okay? Both of them are yes or no questions. Very good. Now, here, questions with do, does, and did in the simple present and past simple, right? So look at the order here. Yeah, it's the same order I showed you there. Question word, yeah, the WH, the auxiliary, the subject, and the verb. Look at the verb here in the infinitive. And then you have the complement. Yeah? So what is very important is that you get right the order, right? Follow this order here, and then the complement is going to be natural. Again, I'm going to play for you to listen and repeat. Look, the first two are yes or no questions, and the last three are information questions. So the first two, rising intonation, the last three, falling intonation at the end. Okay? Let's go.
1.5.
Do you live with your parents?
Did you have a holiday last year?
Where does your sister work?
When did you start studying English?
What did they talk about?
Okay, and notice here the preposition at the end. Yeah, what did they talk about? Okay, so you can use the auxiliary subject infinitive or the question word at the beginning, right? To remember the word ordering questions. So have this in mind. Question word, auxiliary subject, infinitive. Right? If there is a preposition, we often put it at the end of a question. For example, who do you live with? Who do you live with? What are you thinking about? Okay, so prepositions at the end. So now we are going to do some exercises. Okay? Ó, next page. Ok? Próxima página. Page 127. Okay. So put the word and phrase in the correct place in the question. Look at the picture here. Can he park there? Can he park there? Ah, no parking, no parking, no parking. Very good. So you're going to put the verb in here. Look at the example. Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Okay? I'm going to give you some time for you to do it. So you place can. Yeah? Let's do one together, right? Where we park. Can is a question, right? So where, hmm? Where can we park? Okay, where can you park? Very good. I'm gonna give you some time. And then, you finishing? Let's check together. Let's see. Number 1, yeah? Where can we park? Number 2, how old are you? Remember, yeah, that is a a compound WH, yeah? How old, how long, how soon, how far, okay? How old are you? Yeah? 2, ask about the age. Yeah? 3, does the class finish at 8? Does the class, so the class here is the subject. Number 4, where do your friends live? Where do your friends live? Yeah, the E here is silent. Remember that. Number 5, why didn't you answer my email? Why didn't you answer my email? Yeah, it's a negative auxiliary. Yeah, it's in the negative. Okay, a negative question. Number 6, do you often go to the cinema? So remember the position of frequency adverbs. Frequency adverbs usually go before the main verb. Before the main verb. After the verb to be, before the main verb. 7, what does this word mean? What does this word mean? Mean, querer dizer. Tá? Tá perguntando sobre o significado da palavra. What does this word mean? 8. What time did your friends arrive? What time did your friends arrive? Silent E. 9. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Right? Remember, prepositions go at the end. And number 10, where were you last night? Where were you last night? Where were you last night? Yeah? Where were you? Right? Subject. Okay, good. Let's move on. One more exercise here, okay? Letter B. Let's check here what you have to do. Put the words in the correct order to make questions. Look at here the example. You live where do? Where do you live? Where do you live? Okay? Number 1. No WH. No WH. It's not an information question. Right? So it is a yes or no. Yes or no questions start with what? Auxiliary verb. Right? So which one is the auxiliary? Do. Yeah? Auxiliary, subject, main verb in the infinitive, then complement. So, do you have a car? Do you have a car? Do you have a car? Okay, so I'm going to give you time for you to do it. Okay, I'll be right back. Hi, guys. Did you have enough time? Can we check together? Yeah? Okay. Check. Yeah. So number 1, do you have a car? Number 2, where was your brother born? Where was your brother born? The verb here is to be born. É o verbo nascer. To be born. So, where was your brother born? Okay. Number 3, how often does he phone you? How often does he phone you? WH compound. How often? Very common. Number 4, compounded. Yeah? WH. What time? What time? What time does their flight arrive? Arrive. Okay. Number 5, is your girlfriend from Brazil? Is your girlfriend from Brazil? So the verb to be is the main verb, right? Is the only verb in the sentence, right? Is she from Brazil? Yeah, Brazil. Yeah, the L, né, is not like in português, com som de U. Né? Para eles eu não sou Vilma, eu sou Vilma. Okay? Brazil. 6. How many languages? Look, how many languages is your WH? Yeah? How many languages can you speak? Okay? Number 7. How was the party? How was the party? Yeah? Number 8. Where did you go last summer? Where did you go last summer? Number 9. Look, is there again, yeah? Is there a doctor here? Is there a doctor here? 10. Did you come to school by bus? Did you come to school by bus? Yeah, it's a yes or no. Okay? If you have any problems, any questions, you can leave a comment for me, yeah? Or you can email dúvidas at inglesfluente.com.br. Dúvidas arroba at inglesfluente7107 dot ponto com ponto dot br. Ok? Dúvidas arroba inglesfluente7107.com.br. Ok? Pode enviar as suas dúvidas nesse e-mail. Let's move on. Let's move on. Now, we're going to go back to page 7. Okay? Back to page 7. Yeah? Letter C. Let me increase this a bit more. Just a minute. Look, better, no? So this exercise, it's very good for your fluency, yeah? To keep the conversation going, right? So look at the 2 groups of questions. What are the missing words? 2 groups of questions. Present, yeah? Let's start with present. Do you, yes or no question. Start with an auxiliary. Do you drink a lot of tea or coffee? Do you drink a lot of tea or coffee? Right? So, 2 groups of questions. Now you need to complete the second group. How many? Because if the person says, do you drink a lot of tea or coffee? Oh, I drink a lot of coffee. Then you make a follow-up question. How many cups? Yeah, cups. Why? Because it's uncountable. Coffee is uncountable. So cups of coffee. Cups of coffee. Do you drink a day? Yeah. So it's a follow-up question to keep the conversation going. Yeah. And you're going to do, look at here. Do you go to gym? If the person says, yes, I do. Oh, yes, I go to a gym every day, right? So what question are you going to ask? Yeah? What gym? Yeah? What question are you going to ask? Mhm. Do you go to a gym? Yes, I do. What gym do you go to? What gym do you go to? Preposition at the end, right? If the person asks, do you sleep well? Do you sleep well? And then, how many hours? Simple present. Start with do here and do here and here. The same, right? How many hours do you sleep? Sleep. Double E, right? Two vowels together. Do you play games on your phone? Do you play games on your phone? Next question. What games? Simple present. Do you play? Okay. Next. Do you like watching sport on TV? Yes, I do. What sports? What sports? Yeah, simple present. Do you watch? Do you like watching? Okay, both are correct. What sport do you watch? What sport do you like watching? Yeah, if you use like here, so watching has to be here with ing. Okay, so this is to keep the conversation going. Let's go to past. Now it's did you, right? So, did you go to bed late last night? Hmm? What's the natural question? What time? What time to bed? Yeah? What time did you go to bed? Yeah? That's a natural question. Next, did you cook lunch or dinner yesterday? What? Simple past. Okay? What did you cook? What did you cook? Okay? Next question. Did you go for a walk at the weekend? Where? Simple past. Always with the auxiliary of simple past. Where did you go? Where did you go for a walk? Okay. Did you see a good film last week? Did you see a good film last week? What film? What film did you see? What film did you see? Yeah. So we start with a yes or no question, and then we move on to an information question, right? Did you? What time? Did you? What? Did you? Where? Did you see? What film? Okay? And last one. Did you buy any clothes last month? Did you buy any clothes last month? Month. What did you buy? What did you buy? Okay? So this type of exercise helps with your fluency. So you're going to be able to keep the conversation going, right? Letter D, right? It's an exercise that we are going to do together in our live event, okay? Because it's a communicative exercise. All the communicative exercises, all the exercise focus on conversation, we're going to do together in our live event, okay? Get ready. So today, yeah, this is the end of our class, of our grammar class, where we studied the word ordering questions. Yeah, we also work a little bit on intonation on the different questions. Yeah? And we did the exercises. And now, if you want, you can go to the students platform on englishfileonline.com for you to start doing the exercises. Remember that the more you do, the more exercise you do, the more contact you have with the language, yeah, the faster you become fluent, right? So it's very important that you have a daily contact with English. That will make all the difference. Okay? So, see you in our next class. Be fluent with Vilma Gomes.